Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. I'll tell you what, this one is face-to-face.
It's been 3.5 years or so, almost.
Yeah.
Almost 3.5 years since we've done one in the same
In the
location.
same location. Yeah. So, anyway, everybody knows my co-host, Robbie Surface. And, well, we've been sitting here. He hosted...
No, it wasn't really a he. It was more of a we.
It's, well, 12 ring archery club hosted the S3DA regional, which was the last indoor regional of the season.
Yep,
because we got state next week. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think you did good for your first one.
I think it went really well. We had a few hiccups. Wrote some scores got wrote down incorrectly in the finalizing part of it. You know, getting prepared to announce winners and whatnot. Just because in a hurry.
Oh yeah.
Learn from that. We're going to do it differently next time.
For sure.
We've got a lot of space here in the range that we didn't utilize. Next time we'll push all the bales back against the back wall, move the shooting line forward, so it gives us much more room behind the waiting line.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a learning experience.
Yeah,
I
have not had that many people in this range since we've had it.
Slinging arrows at one time.
So, because this is more room than we've had at Ace.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing I have to go off of.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm like, well, this is double the space. We'll be okay.
Yep.
And we were okay, but it could have been more comfortable.
For sure. But you did a great job. I enjoyed every minute seeing you, being down here, being in your place. I got some footage. We'll push it out through the week and that kind of thing. And this is a bonus podcast. This is not the weekly review.
Right.
This is not the, who's shot where, because they're still shooting. It's Saturday.
Yep. It's Saturday. We still got the rest of today and all of
tomorrow. That's right. So, but we just hadn't done this, and we thought, well, let's just get together and talk.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been able to do it person.
In person.
Yeah.
You have a very nice shot.
Thank you. We've been extremely blessed.
You know.
And I will say this: outside of the NASP program, I would be willing to bet this is the most target archers that this area has seen in one location in 20 plus years.
Well, we're going to try to change that.
20 plus years, if not longer than that.
Yeah, but we're going to try to change that.
So, I mean, we had 38 registered, 39 because there was one that wasn't on the spreadsheet like it was supposed to be. That was a background issue with the Sport 80 software.
We just sent everybody.
Then we had a couple that didn't make it, but then we had a walk-in.
So, you ended up with, decent
35 plus shooters, shooting targets in a range that didn't exist 3 years ago.
That's right.
So you got to start somewhere.
I walked in here in this building, and y'all hadn't started yet, remember?
Yeah.
So,
the last time you come down, we hadn't even moved over
nothing.
here yet.
Nope.
I think you and I just rode over
That's
here.
right. We rode over here and said, this is where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going to happen. So
looks a lot different.
Oh, it does. The resale space looks awesome. But and rumor has it you're going to be doing it again.
Yeah. Don't really have an exact time frame of when the move will happen, but the owner of the company purchased a larger building where he's got a couple of different businesses, and all of them will move under one roof.
Yeah, which will be great.
We'll have a fully new built retail space and range, and inside the retail space, the way it's kind of planned right now is we'll have a couple of bales down in the retail space so that guys buying hunting bows checking peaks or getting you sighted in tuned and sighted in enough where you can go home and shoot or whatnot. We'll have a full 20-yard bale there, but the actual range itself is going to be upstairs. It'll be a 2-level or 2-story building layout, so to speak, and the actual range where we host the tournaments will be upstairs, and it'll all be new construction. There'll be baffles, to keep it from going out the roof, and we'll have 2 clocks, kind of like it is at Ace. TVs on both sides of the range. It's going to be done right.
That's cool.
I mean,
That's awesome.
I don't want to say that we've put a Band-Aid on.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not really a sore. We just didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And what we've got, what we've got.
Oh, for sure.
It's slowly improved over the last 2.5 years that we've been in this building.
Yep. And it's fine. It works, and it's a bigger space than a lot of folks have. So
yeah, we're very fortunate to have what we got.
For sure.
And it's hard to, from a shop standpoint, it's hard to put a metric on what the range generates.
Oh, 100%.
It's hard to say, well, I made X amount of dollars this year because of the range
itself. That's right.
And unlike you at Ace, I don't have a range manager and a store manager guy. I mean,
and a person up front doing this and that.
It's just us. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. We've got accountants in other locations.
And I mean,
other people.
I mean, he has a lumber yard,
right,
and some other stuff. So I mean, he's but they're all like separate pieces. Mm-hmm. So you have to sort of manage this in its own entity, mm-hmm. and so you have to do all the jobs. When you push it all under one roof, then
it'll become easier.
Yeah, yes,
it'll spread some things out. But yeah, we've been extremely blessed to have what we have and to grow like we've grown. Mm-hmm. And to all of those that are listening to this podcast that made the trip down, I know I had several people tell me that it was 4.5 hours for them to get here. I cannot say thank you enough for taking your weekend, your Saturday, and making the trip down.
Yeah. So, I got up early and came on down. It wasn't 4. It was 3. But
I remember that drive well. I made it twice a week for.
You made it a lot of weeks. A lot of
year.
weeks. I know. I remember it.
So I remember that drive really
well. And like I said, the last time I was here was you weren't even in this building. You had just started. So we've come a long way. But like I said, we're just so far away.
Yeah.
I
had somebody tell me, y'all need to pick up and move about an hour north.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a little difficult.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what
what we got to do. We can't pick up, move an hour north.
Nope.
What we've got to do is get some of those places that have shops that's north of us but south of y'all. Some programs.
That's right. 100%.
I mean, that's and I've got to find some time and make some time, especially as a coordinator, to continue to do that. I've talked to Carson down in Thomasville.
And I've talked to Carson myself. So
got to get with Jeremy at Life
Outdoors.
Yep,
I've talked to Jeremy too a little bit. And I've talked to some people who have a JOAD program, that may not have a shop, but has a JOAD program and has a place that they shoot and train. Like, hey, why don't you pick up S3DA?
It's a really good organization that gives
the program itself.
Yes.
Is the best, and you've heard me say this 1,000 times, is the best youth program out there, period.
I do not disagree at all.
Because they give you everything.
The downside that we faced a little bit this year is just dates.
Yep.
And I said it before on the last podcast. We've got to figure out how to schedule
better.
Yep. Because, unfortunately, it's tough to please everybody.
Oh, for sure.
And it bothers me personally when I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's accepting that you just ain't going to please everybody.
It's hard. Yes, for sure. I mean, being in not just that, but in the industry, what we do, we feel the same way. We want to please all our customers, mm-hmm. right? And so
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to please them all. And you bend over backwards to do what we can do. There's no doubt about it. But it's the same thing. I mean, you're dealing with the masses, so you have to majority rule, right? The only downside is at this very moment, the only 2 shoots that were outside of the North region was yours and mine, mm-hmm. right? And essentially, from what I understand, because 3D's next and Outdoors next, right? Or not whatever order, but that's the 2 things that
we've got left.
Got left to do. There won't be but 1 in our region and 1 in your region, and the rest will be in the north.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're even going to have a 3D regional. We're still
You still
working on
need a range.
targets.
Need a range.
Trying to locate a range, and even if we are able to locate a range,
To get it up and running,
getting it going, getting it together, I don't want to say would be tough because it's definitely doable, but from a
logistics,
a people pleaser standpoint, I would be afraid of not being able to get it all done
and do it right,
and it being done right.
Exactly.
Yes. So,
yep.
I don't know. I don't know that if we'll get a regional for 3D.
No,
for this
but
year.
There's some other clubs in the West.
Yes, we do have a couple other clubs in the West.
So,
there's other opportunities.
Yes,
there's other opportunities, and we, like I say, just got to do a better job of. I shouldn't say better. Just got to continue the push.
Create
some
not that we did bad, but make it better.
And make it better.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that, myself, Coach Ben, Coach Cody,
yep,
Tamron, Miss Alicia, all of us were able to take some of the things that didn't go as well as we'd hoped for it today. Not that it was bad, because it wasn't bad at all.
But learn from.
The biggest thing is the space,
yep,
pushing the targets against the wall. I should have
thought about it. But
I should have thought about it. I just didn't.
Yep.
But I guarantee you, the next one,
that
won't be a problem.
Oh, yep. Oh, yeah.
That won't be a problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we always learn better, for the next time.
Because the way the range is set up and what we primarily do, it's a bow hunting range.
Yeah.
So the targets are where they are, and then we use the wall, which we always usually have a couple pushed against the back wall.
30.
And that's for shooting 30 yards.
Yep.
So with that being said, if we had the line further up,
then you have all the room for the people.
And then the majority of your people shot at 20 yards. If somebody wanted to shoot at 30,
yep,
now everybody's got to back up.
That's right. I understand
So the way it's laid out is so that we can shoot both distances at the same time.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. You got 10, you got 20, and you got 30. And I understand that, and it looks great. Like I said, it's just we didn't think about it, and then it's like that would have made a lot of better distance.
We'd have had a lot more room behind the waiting line.
Yep.
And I'll take and learn from that. And that's pretty much the biggest thing. We had a couple of bounce outs for some lower poundage bows.
Yep.
Even putting the foam up, it helped, but it didn't completely solve the problem.
But those are learning things. I had bounce outs at mine, and I've had to put some foam up. Hopefully, caught them all. I told them straight. I put foam directly behind the target. I cut a piece of foam that's a little bit bigger than the target, and I pinned it up just to hit that person's target, because we wasn't sure where the bounce outs were coming from. Now, she was the young lady today. She's like, nope, that one missed. It hit somebody else's target, bounced out. She goes, so we're not going to count that. And I say that's
stand up on her part.
Exactly, stand up.
That is absolutely speaks volumes.
Exactly,
that absolutely speaks volumes about that young lady's integrity.
And so the young man that was bouncing out at my place, I said, hey, do you mind if I just cover just your target? He said, no problem. He said, that way, if it don't stick. Right? If it don't stick, then we know that I hit somewhere that I wasn't supposed to.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Well, and another thought that I had too is cutting some cardboard.
Yep.
In 4x4 squares.
Just trying to
pin it in between the mesh.
Yep.
Or in front of the mesh. And putting the targets on that cardboard.
To help grab it. Yep.
Yeah. Because I think that'll help grab.
Yep.
So, we're going to take these things that we gathered from today.
Exactly.
And apply them to the next one.
Yep.
And I'm sure there'll be a hiccup or two then too, but we'll take those things that we learned.
No, it's always, if you make it better every time. I mean, just like Lancaster's 20 years, right?
Yeah.
He had 100 people show up at the first one. There was
over
3,000.
Or right at 3,000, what it was.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. But he did the same thing.
It's gross.
He knew what he needed to do to fix this, fix that, make it better. And that's what we do in archery. Try to make it better and try to make more archers. That's what we're here for, is to make more if we do not,
Continue to grow the
if
sport.
we don't grow the sport's going to die, and this is what we love. So we have to grow the sport, and we're going to grow. We're going to grow it in every which way that we can.
I'm not gonna say it's all I know, but for the last decade, it's
It's
all
been
I know.
it's all you've been doing.
Mhm.
Yep, 100%. But it ain't all I know either. But this is what I love.
Mhm.
There's no doubt about it. So yeah, man, I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. It's awesome to be able to like just stare at not through a computer or
Right.
whatever, and be
Right.
Monkey's done got tall, son.
I know. I'd like to put a brick on her head.
And she's getting
I don't
older.
know that putting a brick on her head will work.
I don't know, but she's a big girl now.
Yeah.
13,
12.
almost 13.
Almost 13.
That's right.
May 25th. Her
That's
brother actually turned
20 today.
Yep.
Can
February
you-
10th.
Yep, because
Which
Brittany
just makes me feel even older.
Brittany turned 24. My daughter Thursday, because hers is the 8th. Remember, because 8th and then 10th. I always remember Nathan was right after her.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
always,
you for coming down
dude,
and being an extreme huge help, because I'd have done it. Yeah, I could have done it. Would it have been a lot more difficult to have done it? It would have been a lot more stressful if you were not here. That I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and I just enjoy doing it. You know me.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope you have a good one. We will speak to you again on Wednesday and do our normal routine thing. You can choke down whatever dinner she gets, as long as she don't flip on the fryer.
Yeah. That was a learning curve.
Don't flip the air fryer on when we on the middle of
Well, it's the air fryer
and
and
the heater. Yeah, all at the same
It's
time.
all on the same circuit.
Yeah, but it's getting warmer. We won't need the heat as
we
much.
won't
So.
need that.
All right, man. Well, until next time, I'm Big John.
And I'm Robbie.
We'll see you.